Hello my lovely friends and welcome back to my art studio. Today's Make With Me is going to be all about the journey of sewing, making this winter inspired pinafore. Let's get started. Alright, so how I choose my size is I open up the pattern and they have a handy body measurement guide here, and I refer to my personal measurements that I put in the first page of my sewing journal so that I can really refer to it super easily. I'm going to actually refer to the finished garment measurements. So I'm going to keep the bust at 6, and then the waist I'm going to bring down just to a 2. So this is when I'm going to decide for my sizes, so there is still a bit of wiggle room for it to be really comfy. So I'm hoping that that is my best choice. Okay, so I'm super excited because they already did some of the hard work for me for the sizing. So they have a shortened and a lengthened option for the bodice. So I've officially cut out all of the pieces and added my own alterations to the sizing. I added in all my markings. I used a super dark marker so I wouldn't forget to add in these in chalk later. I definitely need the reminder. I checked Seamwork's kind of recommended fabric, and so this might be a really good fit for it. So I'm going to use some scraps that I have of flannel. Seems like it will fit. This is my sewing machine. I got the Singer Start, and yeah, this is my little setup. So desk here, my window, and then I use what I call a standing desk. This is kind of my version of a standing desk. Alright, so I've gathered my pieces, and the first thing we're going to do is we are going to stay stitch around these necklines and the armholes for the lining and the main fabric pieces. Everything that needed it has got our lovely interfacing on it. I'm going to do some darts in here. Lovely facings. So these are ready to go. So now I'm going to be laying these out and sewing these together. Now, I've never done anything like this before, so it's a little tricky doing linings. This is going to be for the neckline, and then you kind of inside out it. So yeah, let's see how it goes. But clearly this is a little weird. So if I'm being honest with you all, which I really try to be as transparent as possible, I have so much trouble with these V-neck necklines. And so I just tried to fix it, and I feel like I made it a million times worse. Yeah, it looks like I did make it worse. A little bit frustrated. Maybe I need a snack. Yeah, oh my god, I needed a million times worse. Okay, I gotta figure it out. Okay, we are back. I had a little bit of trouble, if you didn't notice. So essentially last night, I was getting a little frustrated with the top, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna move on to other steps. So I started working on the skirt. Alright, luckily Seamwork has a burrito lining tutorial because this was very confusing. So I'm gonna sew the armholes, but you do this little burrito method. You keep all this tucked in. I know that this makes no sense. I barely understand how to do it. So I really suggest watching Seamwork's burrito method video. It's extremely informative and genuinely the only reason I figured this out. Thank goodness. Okay. So we've got, it's kind of like a little shirt now. This is so cool. It's looking like we put the whole thing together. I'm looking at the directions and I'm trying to make it look like that little picture. But I'm very confused. I think if I sew this together, I made a little key for myself. Okay. And it seems like it's working out. I'm honestly so surprised. I kind of had a moment of like being afraid. I feel like I spent this whole process thinking this wasn't gonna work out. And now it feels like it actually kind of is gonna fit. I did it. It happened. It's here. The Pinafore. The flannel lined Pinafore. This piece is actually being made as a twall for a really special garment that I'm going to be making for a article series that will be in Seamwork. But I really wanted to make it something that I would really wear and get a ton of use out of, so I'm very happy with that I get to actually wear my twall. This one will be natural dyed using avocados, and I'm going to experiment with the lining. Instead of having it flannel, I'm going to natural dye it with my stone ground paint pigments, and I'm gonna experiment. So this is really exciting. So it's kind of like the first part of that little journey. So thank you so much for hanging out with me in my sewing room, and happy making. Hello?
To editing Deanna, that is now in focus.
That's okay, hon. So let's start again.
Yeah. No, we're still rolling.
Okay.
Keep it rolling.
The Pinafore. Flannel. Pockets is precious. It's so comfy and cozy, and I feel so happy in it, and I'm very excited.